So one of the questions we ask all our scholars who come in and talk about the theology of joy is what is one specific piece of advice you would give to youth ministers? And so I would love for you to respond to that question. If you have any practices that you want to offer, I also invite you to do that as well.
I think the most important ingredient for youth ministry is to love the young people with the fullest possible love, and to honor their dignity, their sacred worth as created in the image of God. Therefore, the practices include very many different things. They include pauses, silence, spiritual practices, helping them to discover new spiritual practices. It includes forms of sharing that they may have never practiced before, like the talking circle with the sacred object, which often allows people who feel unheard to get their voice in. It includes a rigorous basketball game, or the creation of a special event for the congregation, or marching in a protest march at the state capitol or the city hall. These are many different practices, but if they come out of the love for the young people and the honoring of their dignity, they will have meaning for the young people and will contribute something to the world.
I think there's so many things, but just one thing. I would think participation for youth in the church, as to they're not a different group in the community. They're not have less of a voice, less of an opinion, but they're part of the community. They're an integral part of the decision making. So like bringing youth to the table, bringing them to participate and to have inputs and because they have inputs and insights, and especially when they're very observant, and they're observing what you are doing as a leader, not just you as their youth leader, but what other leaders in the church are doing, right? So they have insight. So listening to them and letting them, not making them feel, but letting them know that they're part of the community and that the community is sustained by them. Also, so it's not, where's our next generation, because we're thinking about the church dying. No, they're part of the community, and they are equally important. So equally include them in the decision making, not just the decision making for them. I think it's a very important piece. So inviting them when there's, a selection of a council, change of board of directors, like invite them to those processes, invite them to the process of how does the church work, invite them to the process of, hey, we have these resources, where do you consider they should be guided towards? So things like that, in terms of making and letting them know, again, not making them feel, letting them know that the church runs with them and because of them also, or the community runs with them and because of them also. There are many other ways to feel included, depending on, what are the strategies of the church or the mission of the church, but then asking for their input. And also I would hope, not all of them would participate, but I would hope that for those who were not paying as much attention because weren't feeling as, well, I don't have an opinion of this, or nobody has asked, that would wake them up to actually pay more attention and be more intentional into participating in church, not just receiving, but also giving back.